I mix in AI content all the time. I create AI avatar content. I have content that's completely AI written, but I also show up every single day as a real person as well. And I think that blend is the direction that we're moving in right now.
AI isn't the future, it's now. And whether you're in HR, sales, operations, or leadership, the choices you make today will determine whether you thrive or get left behind.
Today's guest isn't just here to teach you how to go viral. He is giving you the tools to do it with 1 or 2 clicks. Austin Armstrong is the CEO of Syllaby, and what he's building is kind of wild, y'all. I want you to imagine generating a month's worth of content in just minutes. Faceless videos? He's got that. A digital clone of yourself that talks on camera for you? He's got that too. Austin has built a platform that lets entrepreneurs, small business owners, even content-shy folks show up online without showing up at all. With millions of followers across TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn, he's not just talking about AI-powered content, he is living it. So are we enhancing our voices, or are we handing them over to the algorithm? Let's dive into it. Austin, welcome to Voice or Victim. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be on today.
Oh my God, we're so pumped to have you here, but I've got to start at the beginning. You have been creating content since Vine, which, what the heck is Vine? And then I want to know, what led you to building Syllaby?
Yeah, so believe it or not, I've actually been a content creator even before Vine, back on MySpace, but Vine kind of walked so TikTok could run, I like to say. So it was a very short 7-second video platform. And it was the first of its kind, mostly vertical video, if I'm remembering correctly. And you had to be able to tell a story in less than 7 seconds. And if you think about that, that's a very difficult thing to do. But it was so much fun. They just unfortunately couldn't figure out how to monetize that platform. So it ultimately shut down years ago. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for so long. I've been a content creator for more than 20 years at this point, which blows my mind as well. And I've been working in the marketing agency space, video marketing specifically, helping business owners in all sorts of different industries grow online and grow my own following online. This stuff has changed my life. And I realized along the way that everybody should be able to create if they want to. There shouldn't be any limitations. And even at a marketing agency standpoint, we were charging a pretty good amount of money, anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 a month. But there's so many small business owners and aspiring content creators that can't afford that. They can't afford the camera equipment and the microphones, and they don't know what to say on camera, and they need help staying consistent and accountable. And all of these barriers were there to just getting your expertise and your voice out there. And I wanted to solve all of those problems and just help people create. And so that ultimately led to creating Syllaby. I took all of my streamlined processes and everything we did, from coming up with content strategies and topic ideas and scripting and helping you create content and scheduling and publishing it and optimizing it on social media, all of those things that are expensive and very time consuming. And with the power of software and recently AI, we've been able to streamline that. So no matter who you are, you can create content consistently on every single platform for as little as $25 a month. So I really wanted to just make it as accessible as possible for anyone and eliminate every excuse.
Can you just take a minute? Because this is blowing my mind as a solopreneur, as someone who is also a content creator. Tell me more about what your product does.
Yeah, so to kind of walk you through, so it all starts with an idea. The better that you plan on what topics that you're going to create before you create, it actually stacks the odds in your favor. So Syllabi starts at the idea discovery phase. And so you can type in a service that you offer, a product that you offer, maybe a pain point that your customer's dealing with so that they would need your help in the first place. And you just type that in, and it'll show you the top viral questions with data to back it up, how many people are searching for that every single month across Google, YouTube, Bing. You can make educated decisions on the best content to create every single time. And from there, all you need to do is click create video. And so you can create videos in a lot of different ways in Syllabi. Again, I don't care how you create videos, just create more videos. So you can either create a faceless video, or you can create an AI avatar video, or you can create your own content and edit it in our video editor. For the faceless video route, so we have our topic. You click create video. It will automatically generate a script for you. You choose all of your settings. You can have your own AI voiceover in there that's cloned in your voice, or you can choose one of the stock voices. You can choose the subtitles. You can choose your own background music or add your own background music. And as soon as you click generate video, it does everything. It packages the entire video for you on a script around a topic that you know that your customer is searching for. And then once that video is actually generated, you can connect every one of your social media pages and schedule and publish it out and even optimize it. We will optimize the titles, we'll optimize the descriptions, we'll automatically add tags for you on all of your videos. And you can set this out to schedule up to 30 days of videos in advance on topics that you know your customers are searching for. And again, this comes from like nuance of me creating probably close to 10,000 videos over the last 11 years for myself and our clients. So we're really nuanced in the A to Z features. And so I wanted to roll out the perfect video marketing tool. And so we're not perfect, right? But like we're really getting there. And we're the only tool out there that does the whole A to Z process.
I was going to say less and sign me up, because I know that I'm personally bebopping between several different apps to do all of that. Also, to which I'm paying fees for all of those individual apps. So that sounds incredible to me. But the thing that it kind of piques my interest in this is also because I was watching the news last night and they had a big discussion on AI. I know I don't watch the news a lot, but
Yeah, don't watch.
I had the news on, and of course they were talking about AI, and they had a woman on there who really marketed herself on AI and kind of almost became, I think, like an AI girlfriend, which then sparks the question that's really about connection, because there is this fear that we are flooding the world with content, but we're starving people of connection. And I would love to hear your thoughts on, is that a valid statement? What do you think about it?
It's absolutely a valid statement. I don't know if you've heard of the dead internet theory, but it's kind of becoming more and more of a possibility where it's AI generating content and then AI bots responding to that comment. There's no real interaction and community online. We're not there, but it's possible that could be a future where everybody is just interacting with their own bots and making buying decisions. Amazon and Google have already implemented purchasing AI operators. Neither here nor there. Community is everything. Community is so important. So one of the things that I would say never to automate as best as you can is comment responses. Even though there are tools out there to do this, I think you as the content creator owe it to your audience to respond in a meaningful way. I do my absolute best to try and respond personally to every single comment that I see. Which takes a lot of time, but I save a lot of time in the content creation process, right? So I'm able to free up a lot more of that time. If you're able to do things like live streams, like every week we do live streams with our Syllabi community online, where I join in there and some of our team members join in there and we bring in guest experts. And so that's a time every single week for us to just bond and talk about problems that are going on and provide feedback and updates on things that we're doing and things that we're learning in real time. There's all sorts of amazing online communities that you can build as well. For instance, at Syllabi, we have the Syllabi Content Creators Facebook group that has about 51,000 people in there. We have a Discord community. You can create communities on platforms like School or Circle. There's so many of these platforms on there. I also think live streaming is always important to do as well. Live shopping is a huge trend that's emerging and getting even bigger and bigger. There's platforms like Whatnot out there for live selling, and live selling on TikTok has been a thing for the last couple of years now as well. And so just that live interaction, whether it's online or if you're able to take some community things offline as well. So another example of that is I have my own AI marketing conference coming up in October, and I'm organizing a Syllaby get-together in person there. So a lot of our users from around the world and around the country are going to come to that event, and we're all going to hang out together in real in real life. And so those are just a couple of the different ways that you can maintain community in an AI-driven content creation world.
So hold on.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was stalking him about the conference. It's in Dallas, right? I mean, I kind of
Yeah, so just technically just north, so Frisco, Texas. But yeah, I like to say
I saw
Dallas.
online on the website it was referencing Dallas, and I noticed that there was like 3 openings at the bottom of the page. Right? If you need some more speakers or content creators to show up, I think Erica's volunteering. Right now.
All right.
Put me on stage.
Okay,
Coach.
we'll have a conversation after.
But what I find really interesting about this, and I want to say this before I let you talk more,
I'm not
but
right now. This is your show.
people get really concerned about these connections and things like that. And I think it's so important to say that, like, you just have to be intentional about this. And I'm going to take it way back to the horse and carriage, right? And to like when we used to walk everywhere. Now we have sedentary jobs. We have to be more intentional about what we put in our bodies. We have to be more intentional about how we move our bodies. That has completely changed, right? How we now connect now, it just means that we have to bring more intentionality to the stage when it comes to connection. And so it's change, and change can be good, right? It's coming for us. This is what we talk about. It's the wave and it's coming. And Greg loves to say, you're either going to ride it or you're going to get crushed by it. So I'll give you a point.
100%.
I just said one of your things.
Love it. Love it. It only took 15 episodes.
It only took 15 episodes. But what I would also love to pick your brain on is like there is this whole new class of influencers who didn't build their audience. AI did. And I want to know, is that sustainable?
Well, that's the golden question, right? I don't think we know. I don't think there is a set answer for that, because so change is inevitable, right? And to drill in your point, you can either embrace change and you can ride the wave and be an early adopter, or you can resist change and get completely crushed by it, and just go into a mode of complaining and trying to bring things back to the way they were. But they'll never go back to the way they were, because change is inevitable. This is cycles. This has always happened. The printing press, scribes hated the printing press. Sorry, this is the world that we live in now. You have to embrace these things. It's a fascinating question, because I mean we are creating a lot of these AI influencers. So we have thousands of users that are putting out thousands of videos every single day, and they're building large audiences of thousands of followers and subscribers so far. Several users have tens of thousands of followers that are entirely from Syllaby generated video, and they're making money. So these videos are able to be monetized. They're promoting products with affiliate marketing, and they're promoting their own products and services and getting lead generation as well. And so right now it does seem sustainable. Now I would argue AI, I think, is a great launch pad. I think there's always going to be that want and need inherently in humans for human connection. And so if you're able to, I would mix and match AI content with your real content so that you can show up and build that community and that connection. That's what's really going to sustain it over a long period of time. I mix in AI content all the time. I create AI avatar content. I have content that's completely AI written, but I also show up every single day as a real person as well. And I think that blend is the direction that we're moving in right now, rather than just 100% fully relying on AI.
Yeah, I always tell folks, it's like in a world where endless content can be created at a push of a button, right? The difference between you and I, when I'm talking to someone, is I can be on camera, on stage, on point all the time. Right? Like that is the differentiator. And I would argue that folks that are content creators that are creating their own following, whether they're leveraging AI or not, those are the types of businesses and, I'll use organizations in air quotes because pretty soon an organization could be one human and 10, agents. But the point I try to get across to folks, I'm like, Google, the keyword game is over for all intents and purposes, right? Like growing through just SEO and keyword. And I know that you mentioned SEO, like a lot of what you're doing and what we're even doing are disrupting our own industry, right? I run a marketing, company, but I also understand that it needs to be AI powered, and it's more about the growth. But anyway, the point of it is community is what matters at this point, right? And if you've not built up a community, it's going to be tough sledding, for any type of business, because I keep using the same kind of analogy. I say, where are you going to fish? Where are some of these companies going to fish? They have not curated their own pond, right? And so what I think what you're doing is amazing, and what you're teaching folks is amazing. And we always describe it more as personality-led growth. And I say whether it's just an individual solopreneur or a company, there has to be a face to it. People want that connection.
Yeah. Yeah, to drill in that a little bit more, because that's a great point. I think, because these AI coding in particular is getting so powerful, and there's these agents that are popping up as well, Manus and GenSpark and Lovable and Bolt.new, and even like Claude, and there's all of these tools that can take your idea and build out a tool immediately. We're going to see and we're already seeing this, a flood of new software tools hit the market. And I think it's going to be a lot more difficult than people think to actually grow and sustain these businesses, because what's going to happen is Joe Schmo, that's a 21-year-old, has this ambitious idea, but doesn't have a community and doesn't have any coding experience. And so when XYZ product his XYZ product hits the market, maybe it has a little adoption at first, but he's not going to know how to fix it. He's not going to have customer service. If he's too reliant on AI, things are going to break, things are going to slip through the cracks, and then we're going to see that reset back to like companies that are actually built the right way and that have existing communities. Like, it's kind of fascinating to me, but I think like we are in the last sort of era, like in the last year of the traditional way of building a software company from the ground up. And I kind of even did it backwards. I built the audience before I built a software company. I built the tool for the audience that I already had, rather than flip that in reverse. And so I think, there's going to be a huge wave of this happening. And it's going to cause saturation, and then it's going to cause disruption in the space. But then there's going to be a reset, because it's just going to be a bunch of shit that enters the market. Pardon my language.
I don't disagree with anything which you just described. As someone that's used GenSpark, Claude, Lovable, right? I use a lot of those tools, and I describe that what you just described as you built it backwards. Yeah, at the time it may have seemed backwards, right? But now it's basically the only way to build, right, a defensible moat. I always tell folks that there's kind of 4 pieces to a defensible moat these days, which is your reputation, so personality-led growth, right? Your relationships, right? Your partnerships, your community, right? Your customer base, the data that you have underneath, and then the services you wrap around it, right? And if you don't have a personality and you don't have a community, like, you don't really have a business. And a lot of folks are finding that out the hard way. It's part of the reason why we call this AI voice of victim. It's not just on an individual level, but as companies, right? There's going to be a significant number of companies that won't be in business by the end of this year. There'll be a significant number of industries that are going to just be wiped out, right? And folks aren't paying attention. And most recently, the CEO of Anthropic, so Claude, was on some of the news channels talking about, he's like he was ringing the bell, and he was like, hey, people aren't paying attention. You are like, there will be up to 50% job losses. They're using hyperbole, but there may be, like, especially, and basically the point they're trying to say is that if you don't start doing something, you will get crushed by this wave, right? And so now they're starting to go out publicly and talk about this, and because people just aren't waking up to this reality. So we're hopeful, right? And I think if you can showcase how your story arc, I think it really matters. But I would argue that you did it the right way, right? It's
Well,
in
thank you.
hindsight,
Yeah,
but you did it the right way.
yeah. Go ahead.
No,
I agree.
Well, I got a question for you, Austin. Do you think that we are automating the middle class out of this creative work? Because we see a lot of stress around that.
Mm.
Or are we giving them the tools to scale?
Well, I think both. So I think there's always going to be people that fight this and people that embrace this technology. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of disruption. There's I mean, even before this, there's been people that just did, like in my family, that refuse to learn how to use the internet for their job because they don't like technology, right? And those people get shoved out, right? And now is the same exact thing. We're only 3 years into this. We're in an echo chamber. The three of us are aware and we're paying attention to things in AI. And we follow people online that are adopting the newest tools as soon as they come out and experimenting and sharing their findings. But when you go out into the everyday world, maybe they're just starting to experiment with ChatGPT. Maybe they just installed the app on their phone and they started talking to it a little bit, and that's borderline not enough anymore. That was enough last year. It's not enough anymore. And so, yeah, there's going to be middle class and entry level jobs as well that are going to be completely disrupted. But I think there's always going to be room for that AI empowered employee at every level, beginner and mid-level, middle class as well. That's AI empowered, and so it's still an opportunity, but the opportunity is shrinking. This stuff is moving so fast. You have to adopt these skills. If you're like 40 years old right now and you're a middle class person in middle management or something like that, you better be adopting these tools. You better learn how to use AI tools to enhance the job that you're already doing, or you're going to be completely disrupted and you're going to be a warehouse worker or a burger flipper or something. And even that's not guaranteed anymore because robotics is the next
the RPA
frontier.
and all the robotics that are coming out. I listened to one of the podcasts I listened to is AI for Humans, and they were talking about that point this morning, right? On the episode, that you just kind of laid out, which is, and they quantified it. I think they said somewhere between the ages of like 35 to 50 are really going to be challenged with this right now, right?
Yep.
And they said, basically, they were saying the younger folks that are in college now or will be in college in the next 4 years actually will do pretty well because they will have already navigated. It'll be their first entry point into the job force. And what they were laying out was it's the folks that have been thinking that they're finally getting to that part where they kind of coast or cruise to the finish line, right? That is going to be, earth shattering for that group to not understand. And we've seen it in the last year. I tell folks all the time, the number of folks I know at the director, VP, and C level that have lost their jobs in the last 6 months has been insane. I've never seen it like this, right? Yep. And I think that it's going to continue to snowball. And that's one of the things I like to talk about now is that we're in this point where I think that these executives, and I love your take on this, are starting to use the stick more than the carrot. And you see the Shopify CEO, you see the Fiverr, you see Duolingo, multiple companies I think are just going to start saying, like, we're fighting for our survival, and they're not paying attention. And you're going to get to a point where these executives are like, I can't wait anymore. You have to do this, right? So what's your take on that? Do you feel like we're at that point? Is there a tipping point?
Yeah, it's going to trickle down to everything. I mean, we're an AI first company as well. Like we're deeply inspired by some of those emails that have gone out from those companies that you just mentioned. And so every person on our team, it's mandatory that AI is used in your job, or we're pretty blunt with that. If you're not using AI, you're probably going to get replaced with somebody that's using AI. That's the reality that we're living in right now. And that's the biggest thing across the board is like, it's almost become cliche to say this over the last 2 years in our little echo chamber, but like AI will not take your job. The person who's using AI will take your job.
The more that we keep saying it, we're hoping people will start to believe.
Austin, I have been saying that all the time. So thank you.
Yep.
I do want to talk, though.
100%.
I'm going to take you on a left turn, Austin, if you don't mind.
She does this often.
I like to drive the bus here, but this left turn is going to take us down to accidental misinformation, which we know that we have with AI. My question for you is, if AI suggests content, who is responsible for what it says?
The creator is my simple answer. Yeah. I mean, use these things responsibly. That's, what keeps me up at night is the how fast content is spread on social media that can be easily manipulated. And we've seen this as far back as on Facebook. There was reports of Russia bot accounts manipulating elections in the US, for spreading mass misinformation. And now it's even easier. I mean, just this week, Google VO3 rolled out. I don't know if you've played around with VO3. It is incredible. Audio, lip syncing. And so I know Trump passed or is trying to pass something about deepfake prevention of that. But it is you can use open source models. And, we look at companies in China and Russia, where a lot of these technologies coming out of, a lot of the deepfake technologies coming out of China, the white papers. And so it's very easy to create a misinformation video that looks like a very influential person saying something, and that can be distributed online very quickly and be adopted because people just read the headlines faster than they can realize that it's fake and it's misinformation. So it's a huge potential problem,
and it's an ongoing problem. I was at a event back in February, and someone from Dr. Michael Jabor from Microsoft was educating folks, and the room was probably a little bit older, right? A lot of more professionals and leaders of different businesses and organizations. But he showed a Josh Stein deepfake video from 2023, and he was like, "I love showing this after the election." But you could just tell by looking around, and this one was built in like HeyGen, I believe HeyGen, 11 Labs, something. But you could see on their faces, they had this oh shit moment of like, what have I been watching and liking on Facebook? Like, what have I been reacting to? They had no idea how long these deepfakes and this type of technology has existed. And to your point, people ask about regulations and things like that. You can't regulate an interconnected world. Right. Regulations only work when you have clear borders and boundaries. If folks are coming that don't respect or understand or appreciate your copyright laws, it's irrelevant. Right. And so to your point, like, I'm not trying to blame China or Russia. I'm simply saying, if you have a country or a place that has different laws, you can't just stop this. You can't say, well, didn't we regulate it? Sure. Right. Better mousetrap. So
if I take you on sorry, Austin, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that reminded me of last week I saw a really funny comment when VO3 came out that someone said boomers are cooked because they believe anything that they see.
I saw that too.
Y'all be hating on the boomers. Oh my goodness. Well, here's the thing. If I take you on enough left turns, we'll get back to where we're going. But since we're talking about misinformation, I also want to talk about where can AI actually enhance your authenticity?
Oh, it's so good. Well, it can help obviously spread your information out, your authentic voice and expertise out there even more. So what comes to mind is I have a custom GPT and a Claude project trained on me. So I downloaded transcripts from about 75 different interviews that I've done and content that I've written online and speeches that I've given at conferences and whatnot. And so it's trained on me. And I see that as my authentic self because that's my information. And so I use this as a brainstorming buddy. It helps me write content, so many different things. And so if I have brain fog or I need to consult myself for something, I will use that. And I see that as a way to enhance my authenticity just by simply duplicating myself with AI. I think there's a lot of different It's such a good question. I really have to. I'm going to ponder that.
I love
I think
it. And
after
I love
this.
this idea of
But
consulting with yourself. I think that's incredible because I always ask guests on my other podcasts, like, what is the one piece of advice you would give yourself, knowing everything you've
Yeah.
learned over the years, but how beneficial could it potentially be if you're talking to your own self, someone who obviously aligns with your values and your core beliefs because it's you, right? But Austin,
Wait a minute, you're not going to tell him how many digital twins you've created in custom GPTs?
I do have quite a plethora of my own personal GPT. I've got a whole business, y'all. I've got a whole fleet of chatbots, and guess what? I only
love
pay
it.
$20 a month for all of them. But one thing we love to do here at Austin is we love to take a peek behind the curtain. We love to really see how our guests are using AI in their everyday life. So that's where we have this game that we love to call Last Chat. So you get to pull up your favorite AI tool where you chat about whether that's ChatGPT, Syllaby, Perplexity, all of the things. And you got to go in there and you got to be open and vulnerable and tell us what was your last chat. But don't worry. We'll play with you.
What was my last chat? Okay, so you want me to pull up like ChatGPT?
You don't have to show it.
You don't have to show it, but you do have to share it. And give us a little context if you need it. And so while you do that, I will pull up mine, and then we'll have Mr. Greg Boone do his as well.
I feel terrible about what mine is.
Woo. Let's
Nah.
do it. Oh my God, you're going to
Okay,
die
let
when
me
you hear mine because Greg is already going to know this context. But I did that typical moving too fast thing the other day where I emailed Bob, but I called him Derek.
Oh.
And then I said, oh shit. I said, I accidentally emailed someone by the wrong name. How can I clean this up quick? And they said, Erica, here's a short and gracious way to fix it fast. And you know what I did? I fixed it fast.
Well, first of all, I was the human in the loop, right? So I had to call her out and I say, hey, you just called 3 of these people the same name, right? She's like, let me fix that. So she went to her,
to my digital twin, and
her
I said,
digital
help a girl
savior.
out. Help a girl out. But what's yours, Austin?
Yeah, so it was actually, so I was playing around with VO3 last night, and so I've been using ChatGPT to enhance my prompting specifically for VO3. And so my last chat was, and this is going to seem silly because I was just playing around with possibilities. So please research online how Google VO3 works. I want to improve the following prompt specifically for Google VO3. Prompt. The scene is Neo-Tokyo city full of synthwave lights and lit up street signs. The camera angle is like a drone shot that flies forward above the city sky with it below. From out of the clouds in the sky, a badass, scary-looking robotic flying Japanese dragon emerges, spiraling, flying in the sky. In the background is heavy neo synthwave music is playing. And so it wrote a whole thing. It did, detailed research on VO3 for me, and then it enhanced my prompt. And then I took that over into Google Flow, which is sort of the storyboard tool for VO3. So you can create multiple clips and extend them. And so I took that in and I created this badass Neo Tokyo synthwave dragon flying scene, and I was playing around with that. So just kind of experimentation and fun.
Look at his smile on his face, right? Like he created something,
He's
and that's
having
what
fun.
like when people think it's like it's. I always tell folks, the average Google search used to be 4 words, and the average like prompt was like 25 to 30. Like you laid out a very like detailed thing, but the smart thing that you did, the smartest thing that a lot of folks could do is you used it to enhance the prompt. You wanted to use a different tool, and I do this all the time, right? If I'm doing something with GenSpark, I may go through Claude or I may go through ChatGPT, do some deep research. I say, give me 12 slides, give me the specific format that makes the most sense for GenSpark to then produce what I want. And that's the thing is like, if people understand, it's like, well, I don't know how to talk to the machine. Well, ask it, right? It understands the sentiment of what you're trying to do, right? This is a long way of me saying
100%.
Oh, good.
I think that's one of that's such a golden nugget here that I think like if y'all take nothing away from this episode except for this one little tip, if you're newer in your AI journey, is just ask the AI to enhance the prompt that you just put in, and you will get infinitely better results.
Infinite better results. Not to mention, I tell folks all the time, like, use deep research, right? Don't just use the flash models. Now, a lot of people don't understand the difference. We were speaking recently to a group, and there was like 40, 50 people in the audience. Only one person, when we asked, about deep research, only one person raised their hand that they were using it, right?
Yeah.
But as you start to look at the power, because it's going to go back and tell you exactly how you should be using VO3 and things. So hopefully you can share that with us after. I would love to see what it actually looks like. I started like trying to play around with videos on ChatGPT and with Sora. I got the premium account or whatever it's called, the $200 a month one, right? And the storyboarding feature and all that. But I'm trying to stall here because I don't really want to tell you what my chat was.
We need to hear it though. Let's go. Dive in. Open it up.
It's
Share it. Share it.
A lot of times it's like a really good one. This one was I was pissed about something that was happening at home, which was when you wash your linens and you put them in the dryer, sometimes if you don't do the duvet correctly, it just balls itself up into this knot that you can't. So now I got just wet knot, and I was spending so much time. Then finally I just gave up. And I said, ChatGPT, I said, how do you unwind a duvet wrapped into a knot after being in the dryer, right? And it gave me concise step-by-step: remove the duvet carefully, lay it flat, identify the knot core, locate the center of the core, work in sections. Well, needless to say, I didn't do any of this.
I was going to say, did that prompt piss you off?
Yeah. So then I just started shaking the shit out of it until finally it started to unravel itself. And then I was, 30 minutes later, and I was like, look, to my wife, I was like, I was trying to impress her. I was like, look what I did and this and that. And, she basically was like, you used AI to figure it out, did you? I was like, maybe. It gave me some clues. So
here's the thing. Sometimes you're going to get valuable stuff. Sometimes you're not,
It was valuable. I just chose to not listen at first. And then I finally listened to it.
Pretty soon our Optimus Tesla robots in-house will be able to do all of those frustrating things for us.
They're probably just ripping to shreds though. Like, it's not going to spin. It's like, it's not a valuable use of my time.
That's true.
Well, if you don't prompt that robot correctly, yes, it may undo your knot by slicing it up into a million ways, but that's on you.
Look, all right, just give me a couple of minutes. I want to go here. So I don't know if you follow the Anthropic. So Anthropic, Claude is kind of viewed as like the safe model, if you will, right? They prioritize, safety. And I don't know if you saw this, Austin, but they were giving some notes on like some training runs and how they were trying to basically root out some of the negative behaviors that they were seeing in one of the training sessions, and they gave the AI some a bunch of emails that had some illicit kind of extramarital things going on with some employees or whatever. And so the whole training was about, hey, we got a new model, we're going to replace you, blah blah blah, and they were trying to figure out what was it going to do to keep its existence. And so, and they were trying to make sure that it didn't go off the rails and try something that it shouldn't have done. And so it tried to like appease. Then it finally gets to a point where it just starts trying to blackmail the user. Right. And so, Anthropic at least is like being honest or at least open and transparent about some of this. Like, it's probably way more negative, right? But what people don't seem to understand is that like these machines are going to be fighting for their own existence, just like we're going to be fighting for our own existence. And I don't think that the content creation piece is going to be able to hide from that reality. Like there are completely AI generated influencers now that can showcase, like, the person that's in the video isn't even real. The product itself isn't necessarily real, right? It's a next evolution of scamming also that can come from that, right? There are companies that are going to do it, and then there are going to people that are going to sell you products that don't even exist.
Hey.
And people aren't going to know. But what kind of advice are you going to give our folks in the content space, knowing that these could be the types of things they're going to face in the future? I know that was a lot.
Well, yeah, no, it's really good advice. I mean, I immediately go to just like try and find reviews and honest reviews online before you purchase anything. Like, don't just blind buy something on a Facebook ad. been there.
I was going
It's
to say
mostly
I'm
worked
guilty
out.
of that real quick.
Yeah. I think we all are. You're scrolling late at night, you see that Facebook ad, and it's like, it's perfect. It's exactly what I'm missing in my life. Buy. And you wake up the next day. Why the hell did I buy this thing? Um, oh my gosh, I've got so many.
I know
stupid-
my brain is literally scrolling through many items that I have sitting
Oh my
somewhere.
God. I've got, I can't tell you, I've got mushroom powder that's supposed to enhance clarity. And I'm like, why did I buy this?
We need some clarity.
So always do your research and do your best not to impulse buy. And know that these, content creation from AI and all of these algorithms have extensive data on how to manipulate us, because it's just data. Psychology, dark psychology, opening hooks, FOMO, buying habits. There's all of these things are heavily documented, and it's easy to automate what can manipulate you. So it's almost key to have critical thinking in everything that we do moving forward. And, unfortunately, critical thinking is not taught in schools. It should be. Maybe parents need to be. It really should be. You need to have critical thinking about everything. Question everything. That's kind of the world that we're entering into.
Incredible. Well, Austin, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing what Syllaby is doing. I know I'm going to hit you up later to check that out. And we just appreciate
sold
you.
on it.
Yeah, I'm already sold. Say less, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was a great conversation. I love the little rabbit holes we dug down in, and however I can support everyone, just let me know.
Thanks for joining us on AI, Voice or Victim. If you want to stay competitive in the AI age, start now. Take one insight from today's episode and put it into practice in the next 24 hours. Make sure to follow us, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more actionable AI insights. See you next time.